The disguised CEO, Marcus Jackson's secret role. The soft buzz of fluorescent lights flickered to life as Marcus Jackson entered the sparkling lobby of the corporate headquarters he had built from scratch. Dressed in a navy jumpsuit and holding a mop, he was a far cry from the powerful CEO he truly was. Gone were his usual tailored suits and commanding presence, replaced by the inconspicuous role of an unassuming janitor. He blended into the background, like a ghost among the people he had created. For some time, Marcus had suspected that his employees, particularly those in managerial roles, treated lower-level workers with contempt. He'd overheard whispers and noticed the high turnover of janitorial staff, so he decided it was time to see the situation for himself. He devised a plan to go undercover and witness the true culture of his company. As the morning rush began and employees flooded into the building, each lost in their own world, Marcus quietly moved through the lobby, mopping the marble floor, unnoticed and ignored. A few employees offered polite smiles, but most passed by without a second glance. Then, Mr. Davis, the office manager, appeared. A tall man in his mid-40s, with a permanent scowl and an air of superiority, he was dressed in a high-end suit. "Hey, janitor," Davis barked. "You missed a spot." He pointed to an invisible stain, sneering. Marcus nodded without a word and continued his work, his resolve steady. He had anticipated this. Throughout the morning, Davis took every opportunity to belittle Marcus, making sarcastic comments and even knocking over a cup of coffee just to watch him clean it up. His behavior emboldened others, and soon, a few employees joined in, snickering behind Marcus's back. Despite the mistreatment, Marcus remained composed, silently observing. But it was what happened later in the afternoon that solidified his decision. An elderly janitor, Henry, struggled to push a heavy cart of supplies down the hall. Davis approached with a mocking grin. "Need some help, old man?" he asked, feigning concern before laughing. "Maybe it's time to retire." The humiliation on Henry's face was clear, but he didn't protest and continued his work. That was the moment Marcus knew the company's culture had to change. As the day wore on, he endured more insults and disrespect, silently noting those who showed kindness and those who reveled in cruelty. Finally, as the clock struck 5, he gathered everyone in the conference room, Davis included. Standing before them in his janitor's uniform, Marcus began, his voice calm but firm. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce myself properly. My name is Marcus Jackson, and I am the CEO of this company." A stunned silence fell over the room. Some gasped, others exchanged nervous glances. Davis's face drained of color as realization hit. For the past day, Marcus continued, "I've observed how employees treat those they consider beneath them. And I have to say, I'm deeply disappointed." His gaze turned sharply toward Davis. "Particularly you, Mr. Davis." Davis opened his mouth to protest, but Marcus raised a hand, silencing him. "I've witnessed your blatant disrespect toward janitorial staff. Your actions have fostered a toxic environment, and I will not tolerate that in my company." With that, Marcus delivered his verdict. Davis was suspended indefinitely, pending a full review of his conduct. Other employees who had participated in the bullying would undergo mandatory sensitivity training. And, most importantly, new policies would be implemented to ensure that all employees, regardless of position, would be treated with dignity and respect. As the meeting concluded, Marcus removed his jumpsuit, revealing the suit he had worn underneath all along. He walked out of the room, leaving behind a company forever changed, with a lesson that no one would soon forget: true power lies not in titles, but in how one treats others. And that was the end of the story. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments.